Hi guys, just just getting things ready really. Just going to get my earbuds ready so I can watch something while I'm painting. Yeah, should be starting any moment. Right, just making sure I can, I'd like to watch something while I'm painting because I'm probably going to do a couple of hours. I've got quite a lot to paint. I'm working on quite a large project and I'm painting it in the style of the comic book style. So yeah, it's a lot to paint really. Right, I just need to get things ready because I can't see, obviously, well, I can't check to see if everything's working all right. And more importantly, if there's anyone there. I am still here. I'm just just pushing a few buttons to get the last little bits ready. It's just so I can check that I can make sure I can sort of watch something. Well, I can watch something while I'm painting, and just to make sure I can see obviously what you guys are seeing, just to make sure everything is working as it should. Although one thing I am having problems with, so I've just moved into a new place, and well, the internet is a little bit iffy here, to say the least. So I'm hoping I'm gonna be able to do the live stream. Morning, Marcel. Can you just confirm that you can actually hear me? Because unfortunately, I can't run too many things at once for some reason. Because the internet here is a little bit iffy. So I have brought a few things to hopefully make it, well, more stable. And basically I've got lots to paint, so that's why I thought I would do some live streams, well, for the rest of this week. Obviously there's only a few more days, and then probably most of next week. Just, well, I'm going to be sitting here painting, so I might as well do a live stream. Right, I am definitely having problems here being able to see sort of anything really. Audio's good. Cheers myself, thanks for that. That saves me having to sort of check for that. Oh, now my earbuds have said they've gone off. Oh, I know what. Let's ignore the earbuds, ignore watching something. Let's just crack on and do some painting. So yeah, good morning. Yeah, what it is, this is where I really am a big kid. I bought a large RC car. It is quite a size. It's 1/16 scale, but I'm going to convert it into an Orc buggy. As obviously October is just round the corner, and I've never had an RC car before. I've always wanted one, never had one, so I'm really excited just to play with that, to be honest. But I'm taking the sort of plastic shell off of it, and as you can see, I've started 3D printing a large Orc buggy to go on it. I've kind of like hollowed it out so it's not as heavy as it would be if it was obviously solid, but I am still going to go through and even cut some more bits off. I've got an angle grinder I'm going to use to grind some bits out, just because otherwise the weight of this is going to slow the the RC car down immensely. So yeah, I'm gonna sort of like hollow bits out. So everything I've printed out, obviously big old bumper, is hollowed out, even to the extent the little driver, he's been hollowed out. Yeah, just to sort of reduce the weight down. Let's just move that up a little bit. There we go. Cool. Yeah, so I say there's lots to paint, so I'm going to paint all of it pretty much during live streams. Just because, well, why not? I'm going to be sitting here painting. May as well do a live stream, and yeah, just have a little chat and all the rest of it. So the chances are there's not going to be many people watching because this isn't a known time that I get many people on. Generally, if I want to get lots of people watching, obviously I'm in the UK, so it would be like evening time in the UK. But say generally evening times, I just want to chill and relax and watch stuff. I still do a bit of painting sometimes. But yeah, so for me, early morning live streams or even midday ones are probably the best and easiest. But say, if there's only a few people watching, that's fine. Doesn't bother me. I'm just here painting anyway. If you guys want to have a chat, have a chat. If you want to ask me any questions, ask me questions. Otherwise, I am just going to be sort of painting. So say, I'm going to be painting these in the comic book style because obviously they are quite a large size. This is where slapchop painting isn't generally that good, especially when there's like obviously big flat panels as well. The slapshot painting, yeah, it really doesn't look good at all there. So that's why I thought I would do this in the comic book style. So it's going to be nice, bright, bold colours. But obviously I've done a couple of videos on comic book style. It's easy enough to paint because it is solid colours. The hardest bit, well not the hardest, but the longest bit though, is going around every edge, every line. You have to go around with like a black marker. Obviously you can paint it just black with a brush. But typically I would go around with a marker just to do all the edges, and that's where this does take a long time. Right, that's not connecting. I say I'm hoping the internet is going to last, because I have been having a few issues the last few days with it just sort of been a very poor connection. I think the internet's coming into the house fine. It's just that my room is the furthest away from where the router is. So I've got a hole in the wall sort of plug socket so I can connect to it. And I've got a booster aerial coming today as well. Right, so let's crack on. I think we're going to paint this thing first. So say even like seats that I've got, well, it looks like kind of a toilet. That's hollowed out as well. Just to say everything's been hollowed out just to make things as light as possible. Just because obviously I want to make sure this car can still move and can still move pretty fast. Right. Pain in my earbuds have just run out because hey, I do like listening to stuff when I'm painting, or watching YouTube, or watching movies normally. So why are these gone off? Let's have another go. So obviously the problem I've got, if I put something on, then, well, YouTube doesn't like it, demonetizes it, and, well, sometimes blocks things. No, that's very bizarre. Right, let's put these on charge, just so for next time. Well, it says 96. Maybe I need to get new pairs of them. They're on their way out. Anyway, enough waffle, let's get some painting. So with, obviously, comic book style, generally it is say block colours and you do say two colours. So the main vehicle is going to be red because obviously it's an AUG vehicle, so red goes faster. So most of it's going to be this red. This is from the colourful, just a primer. So as there is a lot of red to paint, rather than paint it with a brush, I'm going to use the rattle can. So that's why I've gone for the red sort of base paint primer, which is pretty cool. But for everything else, so everything sort of generally gets two colours. Start with a darker colour, and then do a few like little highlighty areas, whatever, with the blue. This is where obviously you don't feather it in at all. You have it so it is a nice contrast between a light colour and a dark colour. And then so yeah, afterwards you do everything with a black liner, and then do some shading marks and all that kind of stuff. So it's really weird. I've done it about 3-4 times now, the comic book style. always feels weird when you're painting because you're deliberately having a difference in the colours. You don't sort of blend them in at all. It's not until you start doing all the black lining and that's when it starts to sort of, well, starts to look good. Anyway, so I'm going to be filming as well because obviously this is going to be a proper sort of video. So let's move things off. And click on that one. And I can just show that I am going to be painting everything in the red. And obviously you've got two different blues, two different yellows, and two different greens and all the rest. So that's just sort of showing what I'll be doing. So whenever I am filming, in my head I'm roughly thinking what it is I'm going to be sort of saying in the video. Also, we want to use the dark one first. So using, yeah, good old War Paints Fanatics. Obviously nice strong colours. So these will go on really well. And then, yeah, say comic book style, it's it does feel really weird when you do start painting this way. And it really is. It doesn't come together until you start doing the black lining at the end. Although something I do need to do, I've got a new desk and it's a lot thinner and lighter than my last one, which means when I move it starts shaking, which isn't good when I got the camera fixed to the desk. So I really need to get the desk kind of like screwed into the wall really. Right, that's enough filming for the moment, and then we'll show me doing the lighter colours over the top. A little bit of blue there. So I might try and see if I can do some sort of live streams late on in the evening. As I say, I know there won't be many people on watching now because, well, this isn't a good time to really live stream because most people are rather asleep if they're in America or on their way to work in the UK. So I'm guessing anyone who probably is watching is probably, I don't know, maybe sort of Australia way, Tokyo, Hong Kong, or even night shifts. Who knows? Yeah, so this thing I'm building, say it's the RC car, actually doing a collaboration with another YouTuber, which is going to be pretty fun because we're both building, well, converting RC cars into something else. So obviously October just around the corner. Most of my projects that I'm kind of working on at the moment, they are all related. Salty Dalty in US working a night shift. Yeah, so that's what I kind of thought because when I've done live streams before this early, most people rather night shifts or like in say in Australia, New Zealand, sort of getting ready to, well, go to bed really. Rightio. So it's just a pain though, my earbuds aren't working. So because typically I would be, well, I'd have something on TV to watch, but yeah, I don't know why my earbuds aren't working. Well, that's one of those things, I don't really use them that much. They're fully charged because they're in one of these little boxes, which are pretty cool because they charge up the earbuds, and it's saying there's 90-odd5%, but for some reason, let's try them again. Retro Adventures, hello to you, hope you're well. Simon Overman watching on the job. I hope you're not working too hard. Right, you gonna work? Come on, what? Oh, made a ding. Let's have a look. See if I can. So I can watch something. I say because otherwise it is so quiet. I can't work with nothing. Normally I have music, or say I'll binge watch a TV show. Let's have a look. Where's... Right, Bluetooth is on, so why aren't you connecting? Salty might be an issue connecting correctly live stream. Maybe, although I've used these before a long time ago and they've been okay. It's the usual when technology, when it works, awesome. When it doesn't, it's like especially when it's something simple that has worked in the past. So there's no reason why it shouldn't work again. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Cool. So I'm currently watching Taskmaster. I don't know if anyone's seen it or heard of it. It's in the UK. It's just a fun, easy thing to watch. Let's just turn that down a little bit. Cool. There we go. I'm happy now. I've got some sound in my ear, so I'm not just listening to myself. And yeah, we'll crack on with this. I know, let's paint another one with blue because there's more blue. So yeah, say this. I've always wanted an RC car ever since being a kid. So the one I've brought, it's not an expensive one. Well, reasonably, it was like about 70 quid. So as they go, obviously you can get a lot more expensive ones and you can get cheaper ones. But it's a nice size vehicle. Apparently it can go 40 kilometers an hour. So yeah, pretty fast. But I kind of went for one that can go fast because I knew by the time I get everything onto it, it's going to slow it down. So it's like everything's been printed out for this thing. It is just a case of putting bits together, painting them. And I say the painting them's not going to take too long. I wouldn't have thought. It really is all the black lining because every line needs to, like every edge needs a black line on it. I was going to look pretty cool there because I say a nice big RC car, comic book style. So should be fun. So anyone who has just turned up, yeah, the car I'm building. Well, this is the size of the Orcs. It's really weird. I started printing some larger Orcs and things a few months ago, and I really enjoy printing things at a bigger scale now. And because I've recently moved into a bigger place, I'm almost contemplating making a kill team this size. I mean, I don't know if you've seen in my last live stream. I've obviously just made a new Orc kind of kill team, or Sporks. So good old Orcs in Space Marine armour. But yeah, having a kill team, but playing it at a bigger scale, yeah, could be a lot of fun. So you never know. I may well be doing a kill team big size. Although I have to make a big board for that. Or I might just make it so it's just terrain pieces rather than making a board. All right, Steve, mate, how are you doing? Hope you're well. Yeah, definitely been a while. Hoping to get back into doing more live streams now. I'm now in a new place. Everything's all set up. And I say I've got a lot of painting to do because I'm making a RC car, but I've converted it to put like an Orc buggy on it. Obviously, this is part of the Orc buggy. There's a bit that goes at the back, and the bit at the back is going to have an Orc sitting on it. Well, eating a bit of roast legs there or something or other, and drinking some wine. So yeah, comic book style. Pretty simple, but always looks and feels weird until you get right near the end. Yeah, and you start doing the black lining. Let's put a little bit less painting because I kind of put far too much paint in the first time. Let's do... Oh, we'll do the big ones of green, I think. yeah, the sun is starting to come through the old blinds. Let's go and close them a little bit. Oh, there we go. Yeah, a sunny day in the UK, eh? Steve's doing well. Oh no. Oh bless you, buddy. Well, I hope everything goes well with the treatment. That was a bit of a well, kick in the nuts, isn't it? Yeah, life definitely does go on, mate. It's all about making the most of whatever we're doing, isn't it? Let's move the camera just so you can get. I'm not blocking it with me chunky hand. Better. Yeah, red definitely goes faster. So that's why the main vehicle, rather than obviously painting it with a paintbrush, which is going to take a long time, the can or the primer I'm using is this red. So it's colour forge. It's red. And yeah, it'll just make painting this a whole lot easier because pretty much most of this is going to be red. A few little bits are going to be a different colour. Maybe the windscreen a little different colour. But yeah, on the whole, yeah, red goes faster and it'll be easier to paint that way. So say I am doing this as a collaboration with another YouTuber. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. But I'll give more details about that later on. So say I'm going to be probably doing live streams mostly mornings, I guess, because for me it is easier just to do it in the morning because this is when I'm normally painting anyway. I will try and do the odd evening though, just because I know that is when there'll be more people on. Right, so what other colours have I got? I've got a purple. Right, we're going to do purple. Yeah, do one purple, one brown. So this is where I really can't wait to get most of this painted and then start going over with the black lines because that's really when you'll see it starting to look comic book. So every colour I do use, I'm then going to use just a lighter colour just to go over and add some low lights. I don't know. I never know what things are called in painting terms. Obviously, I paint for fun. Yeah, just to enjoy it really. So I'm just going to do this, let this dry, and then say, because I am filming while I'm doing this, just to sort of see, well, make the video of it. I'm the guy who makes stuff out of sprues. Yes, I haven't done any sprue stuff for a long time. I think since I started getting into 3D printing, yeah, that's kind of why I haven't really done anything with sprues. Although it's funny that, because I was thinking about going through my old videos and remaking some of the stuff. Because obviously when I first did sprue making videos, I wasn't very good at painting. I mean, not that I'm excellent at painting now, but I'm certainly better at painting now than I used to be. So yeah, funny enough, I've been thinking about redoing or remaking some things out of sprues, but then just obviously painting them, well, how I paint now. But the only thing to say, the biggest problem with sprues is the time it takes to make something. Because obviously the time it takes to turn the sprues into sprue goo, and then obviously you make something, and then you got to wait for the sprue goo to go back to being, well, a solid. So yeah, that's the only problem with making things with sprues. But other than that, yeah, it's certainly, I mean, it was fun just seeing just what I could make. And I think the answer is anything and everything out of sprues. It's pretty cool stuff. Bring back the sprue. Yeah, I don't even know where that's gone. Yeah, because I got the sprue burger and I made sprue fries. It was just the sprue Coke left to make. But yeah, I have to admit, I don't know where a lot of stuff's gone. Yeah, because obviously in the move, I had a big old spring clean, and yeah, got rid of a lot of stuff that was just, well, been sitting in cupboards, part broken. But yeah, it was funny though. Let's say I was literally thinking about sprues a couple of days ago. But yeah, purple orcs, they are, yeah, never seen any. Certainly good at hiding. Right, let's put another coat of yellow on. So that is the one thing though, when this vehicle is all made and done and say all going to be comic book style, I think it's just going to look quite fun because it's obviously going to be a big vehicle. So if anyone else, I'll go and get the actual car that I'm obviously converting so you can see just how big this thing is. So yeah, this is the one thing I love now, that I've got a room that I can use for this hobby. I can have everything out, so literally everything I need or want doesn't take long to get to, which is really good. Right, let's bring the camera back up a little bit just so you can see more. So let's go even higher. So this is the RC car. So yeah, it's a nice decent size. Got plenty of like suspension, which I really like, because say we're doing this as a collaboration with someone else, and we've got a few tasks we're going to put the cars through. By the end of the tasks, I think we're going to break the cars because one of them, I'm not going to give any spoilers just yet, but yeah, one of them is going to put this to the test. And I say the fact that I've taken the original plastic thing, a very, very, very light plastic thing, and I'm 3D printing something rather large. So this is going to go obviously at the front. There's a big old bit at the back. I've got a driver, and say there's a guy going to be sitting on the back, bouncing around. Because the other thing I'm going to do with this, springs. I'm going to put springs in this dude's bottom, so when he's sitting there and this thing's driving, he's going to be bouncing around. I'm going to put a spring in the head, so the head's going to be giving it some of that. And the same with the dude at the back. He's going to be sitting on a seat on a spring, so he's going to be bobbing about. But yeah, the tasks that we're putting these through, I can see a lot of this breaking. I say parts are sort of, they've been hollowed out, so they're only, I think about 1.5–2 mil thick max. But there's lots more bits I'm still going to cut out. So I really want to make these bits as light as I can, because I don't obviously slow the vehicle down. Say it's apparently it goes 40 kilometers an hour. I've not tried it out yet, because I'm going to try it out prior to me putting everything on, just to see how much this slows slows it all down. Right, let's whiz you back in a little bit. So as I say, there's lots of bits to paint. But say more importantly than the painting, it's all these lines, because it's a comic book style, need to have like a black edge on everything. So that's where it's going to take a lot of time. Yeah, so this bit's 3D printed out, but I've got, what's it called? There's like a little circular saw kind of thing, grinder. And I'm going to grind a lot of bits off, because this back bit is still quite heavy. So yeah, I need to try and get rid of as much weight as I can. Let's paint the seats. So a couple of seats. And obviously these are going to be painted. I think I was just going to do these brown and grey, I think. Yeah, let's paint these brown. Yeah, Sharpies, that's what I'm going to be using to do the lining. Yeah, so I've done a few videos with comic book style. I've never tried to paint a black line because it's just too fiddly. Yeah, I always use like Sharpies. So this one's got like a nice sort of thinner edge one side and the old thicker edge the other side. I think I have got some smaller ones somewhere. Oh yeah, a much much finer. But yeah, because this is so big, I reckon this big chunky one will probably do well for it. You'd love to see a sprue tree armatures. I have made some trees out of sprue. Again, if you ever look at my videos, I don't think there's probably anything that I've not really made. I've had to go out making everything and anything out of sprues. Yeah, there's a lot of sprue videos. Obviously, they're all old ones now, but yeah, there should be loads out there. So it's all about keep moving it. Let's just get it back to. There we go. So I say everything's just going to get painted with the darker of the colours first. So like with the brown, I'm going to go with the darker one, and then I've got a lighter one. Oh, I just thought I've not got it on auto. What's it called? This is why my brain goes dead. Auto focus. Because the only problem with doing auto focus on these webcams, you can actually hear the motor as it's zooming in and out. So yeah, I kind of turn off auto focus. Right, that's where it's going to be. Is that getting better or worse? Oh, there we go. Cool. Sorry, just nudge the camera with my my glasses. Vision, hello there. Hope you're well. Cheers for enjoying what I do. I certainly enjoy what I do. As I say, I am a big kid, and even more so with the project I'm currently painting. This is going to be part of a, well, it's it's a big RC car that I'm converting to look like a big Orc buggy. So here's the old front bumper. So that kind of gives an indication of just how big this vehicle is going to be. Yeah, it's a whopper. Let's just move that and go like that, just so that I'm not bopping it with my my glasses or my face. Oh, I've left a little sprue on there. Yeah, definitely. Wow, because it's going to be huge. And I say, it's a collaboration with another YouTuber. And once we've built the RC cars, we are going to do a few challenges with them. And the challenges are possibly going to obliterate the car. Yeah. So say everything I've printed out, I think everything's roughly 295% bigger than it should be. So say the orcs, I do love the size of these orcs. And yeah, I reckon a kill team with big orcs could be a lot of fun. So yeah, it's all 295% of the size. Everything I've printed, I've hollowed out. So it's literally about 1.5 to 2 mil thick, like the pieces, just to reduce the weight down. So yeah, the RC car I've got, apparently it can go 40 kilometers an hour. But I'm sure when it's got this on, it'll be lucky it'll probably do half that. So say I'm going to do probably mostly more morning live streams. Just to say this is when I'm normally painting anyway. I will try and do a few evening ones, as I know, well, there's more people on, obviously, in the evening in the UK. Yeah, because most of my audience, I think it's something like 30% of people who watch are from the US, and somewhere around about 20% is the UK, I think. And then the other sort of 50 odd percent, or 40 to 50%, is, well, all over the place. So anyone who has just tuned in, yeah, comic book style painting is what I'm doing. Fairly simple. It literally is a case of painting everything in sort of solid colours. And then every colour I am going to use, like the brown. Once it's all dried, then I'm going to go over certain little areas and do a little bit of sort of, well, not exactly shading, but lighting, because I'm going to use a lighter colour in areas. And then once everything's done, yeah, it gets a black liner or black pen to go over every sort of edge. And so that's the bit that takes a lot of time. So that's why this project, it's not that big, but time involved in painting could be quite time consuming. Yeah, definitely a lot of black lining to do. Rightio. Vision, you're in TX, is that Texas? Got up early to watch. As if you still got the nibbly knobbly bits mug. I'm surprised that hasn't broke. Well done. Sam Gissing, new to the channel. Just want to say thank you for getting back into painting. That's awesome. Yeah, painting is fun, especially when you say, when I say slap chop painting for me. That's what made initially painting fun for me. Prior to that, yeah, I didn't really like painting because I wasn't very good at it. It would take me hours to paint like a miniature. The end result would look pants, and yeah, I just didn't like it at all. And then speed paints obviously come along, contrast paints, all of them kind of ones. Absolutely love them. They make painting so much easier. And I think once you find one thing you like that makes things easier, you then don't mind experimenting, trying other things, because you've always got something to fall back on. That's why I say comic book style painting is easy. It's just a lot slower than slap chop. So if you're doing an army, as in when I was painting my little orc kill team, yeah, this is obviously slap chop painted. I haven't finished it obviously, but yeah, orcs in Space Marine armor for my new kill team. Got a lot of kill teams. But yeah, so I am contemplating making a kill team this size. I just think that'd be cool. Probably have to play the game outside. But then again, you can make loads of miniatures up, then make terrain up, and yeah, you could definitely use a back garden to have a game, which would be quite funny. Right, so we're going to do some highlights on this. This is where I think there is a proper technique or a proper way you're meant to do like the other shading. I never know what it is, so I do some bits from the top, some bits here and there. It's one of those things, when you're doing it, it just feels like you've made a mess. It's not until you start doing the black lining that really does sort of like bring it all together. So it is just a case of, well, persevering, carrying on with it. Even if it doesn't look right or feel right, just keep doing it. When you do the black liner, it'll work. So yeah, and the other good thing is you don't have to be too neat, like as in like the edge in there. I've gone over a little bit. The black pen is going to cover that. Obviously, this bit I will repaint, but again, the red's going to have a lighter red on it, so I can just cover up any mistakes there. So again, it doesn't make mistakes. It really is about having fun. As long as you're having fun, then I don't see what the issue is. I think the worst thing you can do is compare yourself to other people, because that's something I definitely did when I started this channel. I would paint something and then look at other people's and go, why can't mine look like that? And it's because obviously they've spent years and years and years getting to how they are. But yeah, so the main thing is have fun with painting. Don't compare yourself to others. And just try new things. I like trying new things. You're getting bogged down. Always getting, yes, that's what I had. Stressed about messing things up. That's why now I don't. I mean, what did I paint the other day? There's a video where I painted something, and I painted it like I was a 5-year-old. I was just slapping paint on here and there, and it looked an absolute mess. But that made me enjoy it even more because I got out of that feeling of, oh, I've got to be neat, I've got to be clean, I've got to make it look good. I just had fun with it, made it really messy, but then started going over it and like tidying certain areas up, adding some highlights with some other paints, and then brought it back from looking like it was painted like a 5-year-old to looking like it was painted really well. And again, it was one of those ones where the less you care, I think the better painter you become, because you don't stress out, you don't try and be perfect, you have fun with it, and things seem to work out well. Yeah, slapchop, it does. It gets paint on miniatures, gets them from being grey, gets them painted to a standard that's not too bad at all. Right, so I'm gonna zoom in a little bit for this bit of filming. Right, so where do I need it? Right, so again, I'm going to paint some lighter colour on here. No real reason or rhyme where I do it. There probably should be, but yeah, I'm just having fun with it. Right, that's Bosch. Okay, that's enough filming. Yeah, and that's kind of it really. So there probably is a particular way you're meant to add the highlights when comic book style painting. But whenever I have done it, I say it really looks weird when you're doing it to the black line. But it doesn't seem to really make, in my eyes, too much like bother if you just put the extra bits wherever you want. And I say I paint for fun more than anything else. And not only paint for fun, I paint for myself. So what other people think about what I paint, I don't think about. Does that make sense? Yeah, and again, I think that's where the caring less definitely makes you enjoy painting, and I think it makes you a better painter because it's you that needs to like it, not anyone else. And I'm just waffling now. Time Guy found my channel with the recast video. Oh wow, that was a long time ago, wasn't it, that one? Since then you've been recasting your army. Oh, awesome. Yeah, when I first started this channel, obviously you didn't have a 3D printer, So I was making casts of Warhammer miniatures, and I think within the first month of me having this channel, I was sent a email from from Warhammer. It was a cease and desist. They wanted me to stop recasting miniatures, as in making a mould and then cast them in plastic, because yeah, it was against their IP and all this, that, and the other. Yeah, it's quite a threatening level. Not threatening, not sort of too threatening, but a take the video down or there will be consequences. Just quite funny. So yeah, that's kind of why I stopped doing the recasting videos. There's still a few up there. Right. I'm just getting a bit hungry, so I'm moving some stuff because I've got some cookies here, but they were underneath the vehicle. Right, let's do the little seats, even though these do look like almost toilets. Yeah, slapchop say it certainly is a good thing to get into, just as like a fallback, so you know you've got something that can get all your army miniatures painted nice and quick. And then yeah, just experimenting, yeah, layering. Say the slapchop's like a great starter. But then you can go back, revisit models, and do well more highlighting and extra stuff. Really, well, that's one thing I've always said that I would do with my miniatures. I don't think I have yet, because well, especially for me, because I'm always moving on to like new stuff and trying out new things and printing stuff and making stuff. So yeah, I've yet to sort of go back and do what I've said, which is like get an old miniature and then add highlights. Yeah, the good old dry brush palette. Yeah, that was so weird the way that just went nuts. The first one I did. It's only because I think I was dry brushing and I was using like a towel to dry brush on. And someone said, oh no, you really need sort of like rough textures. And that's when, yeah, I just got a load of old bits, put them together, made a video, and it went nuts. But obviously now I like to have my 3D printed ones, just because I can get a nice little size, whatever size I want really. And yeah, it just works really well. So this is where, so I'm painting this and it just feels and looks weird. Yeah, if you ever do comic book style painting, just keep going. Just keep going. No matter how weird and just strange it looks, keep going. Honestly, it's when you start painting the black lines around the edges, that's when it all comes together and it starts looking kind of like how it should. But before then, yeah, it just looks and feels weird. But yeah, just keep going. Time Guy has been very few videos about cell shading. Yeah, there's a reasonable amount out there. I think I did my first one, I don't know, about 9 months ago. And I certainly obviously looked to watch other people doing it because I've never done it before. I'd only ever seen like on Pinterest some like little miniatures that had been cell shaded. Really like the look of them because obviously comic book style is kind of like fun, quirky, and generally bright colours. Which is a lot different from like slapchop. Generally is more darker, well, how I do it, darker, grimier. So it's fun to try something that is, say, vibrant colours. But yeah, so I've only done it a few times. But that's what I say, I think on this vehicle, it's going to look really good having something that really is like so big, and especially when say there's some tasks to do with this. So when I take this outside and like drive it around, having it look comic book style, I think it's going to look pretty cool, and definitely quirky and fun, which is kind of what I'm going for. But yeah, so there's quite a few gaps I'm going to fill in, because with this as well, because some of the tasks are going to involve this kind of getting beaten up a little bit, I think. Normally, any gaps that I have, I would fill them with polyfiller, or grout, or spackle. But on this one, I've brought some, it's like a rubber sealant, just so when this does come into collision or hit things or whatever, hopefully rather than like the grout in there just cracking, the rubber sealant should help it compress it, hopefully, absorb the shock and impact. Yeah, I'm not going to purposely like smash this thing up, but it's got some tasks that me and this other YouTuber are going to do, and yeah, they are going to put it through its paces a little bit, and so that's why with my little driver and my passenger that's sitting on the back of the truck, I'm going to have springs in their bums, so when they're on the seats, or one's going to be on a seat, when it's bouncing up and down, he's going to be like bopping around like a nutter. I'm putting a spring in their neck to their head, so their head's going to be doing the old bopping about as well. So it should look quite funny. I mean, the video's not going to come out till mid next month, maybe even the end of next month. But what I might do is once I get this all done and complete, which I'm hoping to do in the next sort of week or so, I'm going to take some videos just of me driving this around, get like the old cameras on the ground to make it look sort of cinematic kind of look. But yeah, these guys, I can't wait to see them bouncing around and their heads just giving it the old like nodding dog. Should be should be a lot of fun. Animaker looks cool. First hearing of the style. Yeah, it's really fun. It's just completely different from Slapchop in every way, in the fact that it is stronger, more vibrant colours. So I've done about, I think, 3 videos on it. If you go and take a look at them, because the other thing, obviously, with the comic book style, when you take a picture of it, it looks 2D. So that's why when this is all painted, and so this is the bit that's going to take a long time, black marker pen, and you go around every single little edge, and all these rivets, they'll all have a little circle around them, and God, I'm in a rattle mess there, aren't I? Again, that'll be covered up by a black pen, he says. Well, it will be now. So yeah, it will look 2D, which will make it look even funnier, especially when I video this car doing its challenges, just whizzing around. Yeah, it's a 3D vehicle that when you take a snapshot even, or picture, it's going to look 2D, which is going to be cool. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to attack the camera there. There we go, that's roughly kind of where it was. Yeah, Bobble Orcs. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. Yes, it's gonna look funny. And again, this whole hobby for me, it's about making me smile, making me happy. Again, I started this channel, was it 4 years ago, during the lockdown, just as a way of keeping busy and doing something. And obviously it's grown into something that I obviously do now full time, which is just awesome. But yeah, that's why this for me is always going to be fun. I'm never going to take anything too seriously. Like even when companies like send me stuff, I'm never told what to say, because I like to say things obviously in my own words, and especially when you watch my videos, I don't script anything either, as I feel if I script stuff, it'll turn this into more of a job. And I don't want this to be a job. This is fun. This is a hobby. I love it. And I say I feel like a big kid, especially with this RC car, because I've always wanted one. So now I've got an RC car. I'm converting into an Orc buggy with bobblehead Orcs. Yeah, so I can't wait to see them bouncing up and down and moving around and all the rest of it. Disavowed 92. You all right, buddy? Hope you're all well. So yeah, I say most of the live streams I'm going to do, I'm going to be in the morning. I will try and do a few in the evening, just because there'll be more people on. It's only because I normally paint more in the mornings. So again, with the comic book style, I mean, as much as I'm not trying to be neat, but if I do make sort of mistakes like that and this other bit, I'm not going to go around tidying them up, because when I come to do the black marker pen, because how we go from the comic book style, some lines are thin, some lines are thick, so that's why it's good that I've got obviously a pen that's multi-ended, so I've got a nice thin end and a good old chunky end. So when I come to doing the black lines, that's when I'll go around and just tidy up or go over like anything that's anything's been a mistake has been made. Although, as Bob Ross says, there's no mistakes, just happy little accidents, and that's kind of how I see it now. Again, this is why I enjoy painting more, because I don't worry like I did when I first started trying to paint about making things perfect. Just have fun. Have fun. Whatever happens, happens. Right, what was I doing? The yellow, that's it. Yes, all these rivets as well, they're going to be painted in a grey. But again, they're going to have two greys. So they're going to have like a dark grey and then a light grey on those. So yeah, so say this painted, if I had painted this like slapchop or anything like that, yeah, this thing would be done so quick. But that's the only problem with slapchop. It doesn't work too well on big surfaces, especially like big flat surfaces like that. Because it dries so quick, the speed paints, you'd literally have to try and paint that whole panel like within sort of seconds, because if you started painting it and then like 5-10 seconds later it almost starts to dry, so when you go over it again you're going to see two differences in the colour. So yeah, slap chop on large flat areas really doesn't work too well. That's not to say it can't be done, because I have used the speed paints in an airbrush and they work reasonably well. Alright, so what we've got to do now on this bit is do some lighter red and the grey, and then once this is done, then say I'll be able to do the black lining, and then you'll be able to see it, well, look like it's meant to be sort of 3D, hopefully. Right, so I haven't, it's really weird because I haven't got a lighter red. I mean, I could obviously mix white with red, but I think I might just do like a pink. Yeah, that'll do. Because obviously whatever I do for this, I'll be doing for the main vehicle body. So basically the red, I'm using a primer. And I like using Colour Forge because their primers are awesome. They go on really well and they dry like a lovely matte. So yeah, so the vehicle mainly is going to get painted or primed with a red, just because it's easier then to, rather than painting like the whole vehicle in red, using the primer is going to be better. And then, oh, that look too pink. So I was going to use this as the lighter version on the red. But I'm not too sure. Do you thin them or anything if using speed paints in the air? No, I just put the speed paint straight in the airbrush because it's, this is again where I'm not very technically minded, and I refer to things to as watery, yeah. I know it's not a real word, but yeah, speed paints, because they are quite thin. Yeah, they go in the airbrush fine. I mean, you could dilute them down again, I guess, but yeah, no, I like things simple, so the less messing about, the better for me. So yeah, I just put them straight in the airbrush, and they worked perfectly. Right, I'm just gonna have a look for another red, because I think the pink might look too pink, unsurprisingly. Right, so these are the only kind of like reds. So the problem is, though, you really want, whatever colour you're using, you really want like a really light version, because you really want it to show up. And that's what I think makes it look even more sort of comic book style. The big difference in the colours, or the shade of browns you use, or green, yellow, red, whatever it is. But I don't really have a very light red. I mean, I guess I could go the other way and do it orange. Yeah, I think I'd rather orange than the pink, to be honest. Oh, let's have a look. Oh, so what's that legendary red? Oh, that's quite lighter. Yeah, I think the legendary red, it's a very light colour. Right. Yeah, salty, give it a go. Again, it's like most things. I mean, I watch a lot of other YouTubers to sort of see, well, different styles, techniques, tips, tricks, all the rest of it. And I think it's not until you have a go yourself, you're not really going to know what it's going to look like, or whether you're going to like it. And the other good thing is, obviously, you can try someone else's technique, but then vary it a little bit to what you do like. Again, that's what I love about this hobby as well. Everyone's really happy and willing to share what they do. And any mistakes, say in my videos, if I make mistakes, I leave them in, just because, well, it shows nothing ever always goes right. But again, from mistakes, you can obviously, well, improve. God, this still looks almost like purple, pink. Oh, yeah, we'll go with this. Anyway, I'm waffling. Right, so we'll do a bit more filming, I think, just to show the red. Is that zoomed in? That seems. Oh, it was zoomed in. That's why it looks really close. And again, like where I've made a little boo-boo and got a bit of blue paint on there, that's fine, because that's what I'm going to do now. A bit of highlighting, just to cover up any little mistakes. So again, I don't try to be messy, but I don't try to be overly neat either. I just paint for the fun. But the good thing is, when you do paint, you can start off as messy as you want, but then the more towards the end you get, that's when you can sort of like tidy up areas, do little highlights to cover up areas that have gone wrong, and yeah, have fun. I'm always going to say have fun, because that's what this hobby is about, having fun. Right, let's record, and to show we're now doing some red. So again, there probably is meant to be a method to the madness of doing the highlighting bits. But again, I don't bother. I don't worry. I just put them wherever I want to put them. And yeah, I think it looks all right when it's all done. Yeah, the old war paints. Yeah, not too bad at all. I mean, to be honest, I probably should have shaken the pots more. Um, but yeah, they're still coming out all right. But yeah, they might come out even better if I'd given them a real good shaking. So literally, I've had these war paints. God, I don't know, quite some time, because this is where I'm really fortunate, very lucky, and I appreciate I am very lucky that I get sent a lot of stuff a lot prior to it coming out, like in shops or to be able to buy, just so I can company send me stuff to obviously make a video with. Um, but yeah, I've had these war paints for ages and never really used them that much. Well, never really used them at all, really. So yeah, I say they probably should be shaken a lot. I mean, I'm literally giving it a shake for about 5 seconds. Um, but yeah, they're certainly coming out smooth, looking nice. Possibly going to go over and give a few areas like 2 coats. But again, because this thing's going to be seen from like a distance and not close up, then I may not give it another coat. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Because I am keen and eager to start painting some black lines soon. Just because, as I say, when I look at this now, it just looks, I don't know, it's like a kid's painted. Painting by numbers, but they've ignored the numbers and just painted it however they wanted. Steve, it's weird seeing me on a 79-inch TV. Ooh, massive hands. Yes, that is a bit weird watching me on a 79-inch TV. Yeah. Mahoosive size. Right, do a few more little bits on this, then we can let this dry. Do all the little bolts, nuts, rivets and stuff. What is the time? 10:15. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so with the morning streams, I was just going to come on, do 2-3 hours or whatever. What's just say Thursday? Yeah, so I might do Oh, I could do a late stream tomorrow, I guess. So I'm not going anywhere. Where should we go? Let's go here. Right, there you go. Yeah, I've not moved far. Literally from where I used to live, I've moved maybe a mile, maybe 2. So yeah, still around the Borden area. Not moved far at all. Are you in Swindon? Berry Boss. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, I mean Swindon's not far away, I guess. Right, so yeah, look, I think this thing, because it's going to look obviously, say, very bright and colourful, it's going to look like a orc hippie buggy, I think, because yeah, it's going to be bright and bold. It's going to be quite fun. Right, let's do some grey on these ones. That gives that time to dry, and I can do grey on that. Let's have another biscuit though, because I'm hungry. Orcs on, yeah, orcs on shrooms. Yeah, psychedelic orcs. Well, psychedelic bubble orcs or bobblehead orcs. Yeah, so I can't wait to get this done, drive it around, and just see these orcs bobbing around. Pour out quite a bit of this because I'm going to use quite a bit for these. So this is the other thing. Say one of these orcs is driving quite clearly. I think you can guess which orc is driving. So he's going to be sitting on one of the seats at the front, and then there's like a back bed panel. So I'm going to have that crate and this dude sitting on it. Obviously, when I do the video, I will leave links to where you can get everything. So this is where my memory is shockingly bad. Let's just have quick see which company it was from. Where is it? Puppets Wars Miniatures is where I got the buggy, and obviously the driver and the guy from the back. So yeah, again, when I do the video, I'll leave all the links. But yeah, Puppets War Miniatures, and then literally I've upscaled everything by about 295%. So yeah, it's it's quite a bit bigger than it should be. But yeah, I love it. So I don't know why. For some reason, recently, I have been printing larger things out. And I'm just, yeah, really having more fun printing larger stuff and painting it. I'm not sure why. I mean, it could be because it's easier to paint something big scale than little scale. It's just a dark one. This doesn't look very dark, actually. Oh yeah, the other one's very light. So yeah, I'm definitely having fun printing and painting larger things. And obviously now I've got more room to sort of put things. Yeah, definitely going to print out and paint larger things. The only thing is that I do need to get bigger brushes because most of my brushes are sort of smallish. So something like this that's obviously a much larger area. I could certainly be painting this with a bigger brush. Would there be any room for Gretchens? There probably would. So the thing is, I'm trying to keep the weight down. Because I'll show you what the original thing that came with the car is. Right, I'm gonna zoom the camera out a bit so you can see again more things. So this is obviously the RC vehicle I've got. So say it's a nice size, and again, I've never had an RC car, always wanted one as a kid, and yeah, now I say I'm an adult, I'm a big kid, so this is the car I've got. This is the original cover, and as you can see, it is just very lightweight, thin plastic, and this weighs, well, this seat probably doesn't weigh much difference than this. So considering obviously this thing is going to have this over the top, so big old chunky thing over the top. This is going to be the back bit, but I'm going to make it so this comes off easy enough. So obviously there's these little pegs that the thing go over. So once I've got this all assembled, and say I'm going to cut out a lot more bits so it is lighter, I'm going to drill the holes so this can obviously just place on nicely and come off nicely. But say there is a lot more weight. So this thing supposedly goes 40 kilometers an hour or over 40k miles an hour. So with all of this, if it does half that speed, I would be happy. Especially say, I'm not going to say what the tasks are that this vehicle's got to do. So this is a collaboration with another YouTuber. We have got tasks for these vehicles to do. So yeah, I do need to try and keep the weight down. So everything's been hollowed out. So even like big bits of this are hollowed out. So I'm going to cut bits off. Well, like I've done with the door panel there. I did have a bit on the front, well, like the other side. So yeah, that bit is going to be, well, that bit's going to be cut out like this bit. And yeah, anywhere I can, I am going to sort of try and reduce the weight down as much as possible. But so I've got the driver, but I just liked the idea of the dude that's sitting at the back. Just to say, he's got this big old leg of, well, something or other. He's drinking. And so the fact that he's going to be sitting on that box with springs in his bum, so he's going to be like bobbing up and down, and then a spring in the neck for the head, so the head's going to be going. Again, I'm already laughing and almost wetting myself just thinking how funny this thing's going to look hurtling along, these dudes just bouncing around. And I've got a feeling that in some of the tasks that this thing's going to do, there's a fair chance one of these guys is going to come off. Which will make it obviously even funnier. So when I do film it, luckily because I used to be a wedding photographer, I've got quite a few cameras. So everything I do, I'm going to film from a variety of angles. I've got a couple of little... God, this is where I have brain farts all the time. Little cameras, like GoPros. So I'm going to have them. So I'm going to film this doing whatever it's doing. But then I'm going to put a GoPro on this and then film it doing it again. Just again. So when I come to put it all together, I want to make it into like a part of it's going to be like cinematic sort of movie of this vehicle like whizzing past, coming towards the camera, then going past the camera. Some views, as I say, the camera will be on the vehicle, like close up of the driver or close up of the guy behind. And yeah, I can't wait to video lots of bits for this. So initially I think I'm going to make a video of me just painting these dudes. There's going to be a couple of videos to this. There's going to be a few videos of just painting a few bits. Then the main video, the collaboration. But there might also be some little spin-off videos that might come out before or after. I'm not too sure. Just of this vehicle whizzing along. Just because I'm just so excited about this thing because I've always wanted one. So this is about 70 quid. So it wasn't a cheap one, but it wasn't an expensive one. So it should have, say, 40 kilometers an hour. This should be able to go with its very lightweight frame. Again, if it can do half that speed with all the stuff I'm sticking on, that's still relatively fast, 20 kilometers. Should be able to get some fun shots out of that. Then do a few slow-mo ones. Maybe try and find somewhere where there's some gravel. So again, we can do the old like going along and then sliding, a bit of the old power sliding. That'll make for some cool shots. But anyway, I'm just gonna have fun with the thing. And say it may not survive. It may not survive everything I'm gonna put it through. Let's just put that back down a little bit. VJ95, hello there from Texas. Can't watch but can listen while you drive to work. Oh, bless you. Steve, your mates made full-size Daleks. Oh, cool. You motorised 2 of them and drove them around the street. Oh, wow. Exterminate, yeah. Oh, so now I'm trying to get hold of the filament 3D printers. Like the Bamboo Labs or the other one. So I've never really done much with filament printers. But I really want a large one. Because, yeah, I would love to print out a full-size R2-D2. But, yeah, Dalek. Blimey. I'm just trying to think if I've got room to put one of them somewhere. I think that would have to go out in the garden. But yeah, that would be cool, having a full-size Dalek. Again, Doctor Who, loved that as a kid. That was very much sort of something I watched. More so Tom Baker. He's my favourite Doctor from the earlier years. Right, anyway, back to this, because I've got lots to paint. I say, if I painted this slapchop style, yeah, this would be so much quicker. I can't even try and work out what the difference is between slapchop, as in time-wise, compared to doing comic book style. I reckon comic book style's got to be around about at least four or five times longer to do than slapchop. But say, I think for this size vehicle, it would just look more comical, more fun, being slapchop. Sorry, comic book. Yeah, so it's going to take a reasonable time painting it, but then it's all that black lining I need to do. It's like I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not looking forward to it because I just know there's going to be so much. Steve, your mate's got one in the hallway. There's a camera in it, so you can see who comes in and moves. Yeah, I think that would make people poop themselves, wouldn't it? Big old Dalek start moving and talking to you. Yeah, so again, this is where when you do the comic book style, you don't want to be too neat in making sure there's paint everywhere, especially like in the gap there, because I know I'm going to be doing a black line with the old felt tip pen. So yeah, be neat and precise, but you haven't got to go OTT on it. Yes, so I might do. I'm going to do another live stream tomorrow, more of this, but then I might do a live stream tomorrow evening, just to see. Well, see obviously if there'll be more people on. So as you can see, though, I am painting this in obviously sections and parts. Just obviously it's going to make it a lot easier, especially say doing the black lining as well. It's very difficult to do that when you've got obviously too many pieces together. So yeah, paint the bits, do all the black lining, and then glue bits together at the end. And I've already bought loads of springs. Good old Amazon. I always get things on Amazon. Got a box of a ton of springs, different sizes, different thicknesses, different lengths, just so I can try and get the right one that looks good to use for the to make these orcs into bobbleheads. So let's call it Magic Runabout. Zebedee. Who was the guy in it that ate mushrooms? Oh, yeah. I don't know. All I've got in my head now is boing, said Zebedee. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, because he was a stoner, wasn't he? But then again, if you see cows talking, I guess you must be a little bit high. Right, there's the grey done. Ah, Dylan. Yes, that sounds right. Yeah, the magic runabout. Because this is going to look quite quite hippie, psychedelic. Well, I think it does because of how it looks now. I think once the black liner pens on it, nah, it'll still look like a hippie buggy, I reckon. Because it is going to be obviously very bright, the red. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it is mostly going to be red. Yeah, there's going to be a few little bits, well, like these little bits, I guess. But, yeah, no, it's going to... Say again, this whole project is making me laugh. So that's the other thing about this obviously channel, hobby, all the rest of it. Everything I kind of make and do, again, I'm not told to do stuff. So even when I do like get sponsored videos, especially if a company wants me to sort of paint some of their miniatures. Again, luckily they always let me choose a miniature to paint, and then the style I paint in it is down to me. So yeah, everything I do, I kind of do in the intentions of having fun with it, doing something that's going to make me smile. Whether it's going to be something like this, which hopefully it's not going to get too damaged when I do my tasks with it, but it might get a little bit of damage. But again, that'll just add to how it looks. So when it sits on my shelf with bits missing or whatever, I'll know I had a lot of fun with it. So yeah, anything I kind of do and make, it's about making me happy, having fun, and yeah, just showing you guys what I'm doing. So most of my videos, they're not they're not in any kind of way teaching you how to do something, because yeah, I'm definitely not qualified to do that. It is just a case of this is how kind of I'm doing it. Yeah, have a go at doing it this way, or learn from any mistakes that I make, because yeah, any mistakes I make, I do kind of leave in. Oh yeah, I was going to paint little rivets. It's going to be riveting fun, so we'll use a smaller brush for this, I think. Does anyone else lick their brushes to make the pointy bit pointier? I'm kind of thinking of what... Oh, pardon me. I'm kind of thinking everyone does. But I always feel weird though when I do like lick the brush or suck the brush just to make the end thinner, pointier, and all the rest. Rightio, let's start painting some rivets. There's lots of these little suckers, especially as obviously I'm going to paint them in a darker grey, and then go over and put like a little dob or blob or whatever it's called of the lighter grey. Yeah, so this is another reason why I would probably never ever paint like a Kill Team comic book. I mean, I'd love to have a comic book style painted Kill Team. I just don't know if I'd have the patience to be able to paint sort of, even if it was just 6 miniatures, because say this sort of style of painting is so much slower than, well, any kind of painting. Whether you slapchop styled or did a few layers or whatever. Well, no, that's a lie, because some people spend hours and hours, don't they, painting one miniature. Animaker, yes to licking the brush. That's cool. I didn't think it would just be me. I'm sure it was like something a lot of people do. And do you have, not exactly a favourite paint, but definitely the worst paint, the taste-wise that is. I can't remember what it was. There was some paints. I mean, none of the paints taste nice. They normally, I will wipe the brush on a bit of like a wet wipe or something to get most off. But then sometimes I will obviously give it a little lick, suck, just to get the last of the paint off. And there's definitely some paints out there that are absolutely revolting. I mean, I'm sure it's not on their top list of things to do is to make paints taste nice. But yeah, some are absolutely disgusting. Steve ended up with a rainbow tongue. Can't say I've ever looked at my tongue after I've done a painting. I will film myself doing a few of these just to. Oh, will I? No, I'm going to leave any more filming now till I do the black lining, I think. Yellow tastes bad. There we go. I think I've done all the little rivets. So it's just fun to paint something that is more vibrant than my usual sort of grim dark kind of style. I'm going to do grey for the edging of the boxes. We're going to live stream for about another 10-15 minutes, I guess. just because I've not had any breakfast yet, and yeah, feeling a bit Hank Marvin. VJ, you're at work now. You used to lick the brush, but not anymore. Just got a bit health conscious. Yeah, well, I think the thing is, there's so many things out there that can kill us these days. I don't smoke, don't vape, don't do any of that kind of stuff. Drink occasionally. Don't really have any vices other than possibly licking paintbrushes. Yeah. So, yeah. I'm a paintbrush licker. Yeah, so what I probably will do is say I'm only going to live stream about another 10 minutes or so. But these bits that I've got on my desk, I will get probably painted today. So when I do a live stream tomorrow, I'll probably be doing like the black lining in, so you'll be able to see that. So the main body of the buggy, I do need to go through. I've got a grinding tool, so I'm going to go through with that just to try and shave off bits here and there that I don't need, just to reduce the weight down. I say, because I really want this to be able to go as fast as it can, because that'll certainly make the tasks that me and this other YouTuber are going to do. Yeah, I want some speed. Yes, I say I'll probably live stream tomorrow morning, and then I'll probably do one in the evening. I reckon I might start tomorrow evening around about sort of 7. So that's 7 o'clock UK time in the evening, and do another live stream there for a couple of hours. Again, just so obviously I know a lot of people won't be able to watch the morning ones because they'll be, well, at work. Yeah, they'll be able to see what's going on in the evening ones. Right, yeah, I'm going to finish it there, guys. Just to say, I want to go and I want to go and feed my face. No, cheers for being there. Say, I kind of knew there wouldn't be many people on in the morning because, well, it's a kind of weird time to be doing it. Definitely a live stream again, say tomorrow. I might live stream again later on this afternoon. I'm not too sure. The good thing is now I've got everything sort of set up. It doesn't take me too long to do a live stream or get ready for a live stream. I can just push a few buttons. Now I know obviously the sound's working, the picture doesn't look too bad, I don't think. Yeah, everything's working well. Okay, guys, well, have a great day or great evening, great night, whatever sort of time it is with you guys. Say thanks for being there. And yeah, so this is quite a big project. So there's certainly lots to paint. But yeah, I'm certainly having fun with it. Okay, guys, you'll take care. I'll see you later. Bye for now.